my name is Ssd Hunter and I run Simon Says Dance, a dance company based in Edinburgh. I decided to use my time in lockdown to be a little bit more creative and start a new project called Simon Talks Dance. I'm going to interview several different male dancers in different parts of the industry, from performers to choreographers, students to teachers. I want to know how they've managed to succeed in this industry and what obstacles they've had to overcome. In a world where there's still so much stigma attached to this subject, I want to delve into this idea of negativity and turn it into more of a positive conversation. So today I'm going to be talking to Brendon Hansford. He is a choreographer for music videos and TV. He's worked with massive names in the industry, including Sam Smith, Rick Astley and Rod Stewart. He teaches weekly classes at Pineapple Dance Studios in London and has his own YouTube channel breaking down routines for you to learn at home. How are you?
Hey dude, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. It's been a long time. How are you dealing with the lockdown?
Yeah, it's been a while now. When was the last time I was in Scotland? It was like 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't it?
No, we all came and did the workshops. It was so good. I think you came twice in a row.
Yeah, I did. I think it was 3 years in a row, actually.
Whoa.
I literally came every year. I kept getting hired back. So I was like, yay.
Yeah, we'll need to get you back up once this is all over as well. Come to
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, what I want to talk to you today, and thank you for giving me your time. What I'd like to start with is kind of going back to when you first started dancing and kind of how you got into it. Now, I know you started at a later age than some of the younger ones are dancing now. So how did that differ? How did you manage to get into it at that late age?
Well, it's kind of similar way because actually before I started dancing, I studied fashion and design and textiles.
Okay.
So I kind of went through all the same bullying I would have done if I'd been a dancer. And I grew up in a little country town down in Dorset.
Okay.
So this is where the accent comes from. And it's quite, when you don't live in a big city, for example, like London, there's very narrow-minded views of what people should and shouldn't do. And obviously I'm older than you. So going way back, and we're talking before YouTube way back, where you could see the amazing talents of guys dancing around the world. Yeah, I got bullied rotten at school, like really, really bullied. I was even, there's another part I didn't tell you actually, for year 9 and year 10, I was actually off school because I was sick with ME.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I already had that kind of like, I missed 2 years of development and confidence and being around people. So when I came back in year 11, I was very shy, very introvert, and yeah, studying fashion. So I was kind of a target for bullying. And I mean, even bullying from friends. And they thought, think they're being funny, but actually it kind of deep-seated and kind of knocks you back. It wasn't until when I was 16 and I decided I'm moving away from here, and I moved to London on my own. So I moved out on my own at the age of 16, living in Tooting of all places, which back then was, I didn't know, because I came from this little country town, so I was naive. I could walk around at 3 in the morning and be like, hey, uncle. And get to London, I get off the night bus at 2 in the morning, and it's a scary, scary, scary place. But it wasn't till I left and went to London and I decided I'm not going to be that shy introvert kid anymore. So I just decided I was confident, and I acted confident until it became natural. So I'd say it was a good year before it started to just be something that was in me. But then again, I'm still shy. I'm still an introvert who's good at being an extrovert. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't start dancing until I was 18. So it was actually while I was at London College of Fashion, walked through Covent Garden, saw Pineapple Dance Studios, had a look through the window, I was like, wow, that's cool. And also being a straight guy in dance, I looked through the window and was like, there's a lot of girls in there. So there was like benefits from both sides, right? And just started dancing and completely fell in love with the dancing and left fashion behind, went to college and studied contemporary ballet, and then went to Laban Center. And actually, I stopped contemporary ballet because of the stigma. I got a lot of kind of, I don't want to say negative, it wasn't negative. There were just lots of comments that weren't directly bullying or an insult. It was, oh, you do ballet? Like, oh, are you gay? No, I'm straight.
Yeah.
And you do ballet? Like, it got to me quite a lot because you think I was 19 at the time, 19, 20. So I was still quite young in the head and still affected by what other people thought. So I actually stopped ballet contemporary and trained in all the street dance styles. So break dancing, locking, popping, house, Oh, it was great because it gave me a massive broad spectrum and traveled the world and trained with some of the best choreographers in the world. And that helped a lot because it was cool.
Yeah.
So when you're like, you're pulling out all the popping moves and you're breaking, you know, it attracted female attention, which was great. And other guys didn't criticize so much. So I suppose one of the directions of the conversation is it specific dance styles that people are getting picked on and bullied for? Or is it dancers overall? Because when you say you dance and they say, what style of dance you do? You're like, I'm a break dancer. That's cool. Yeah. I'm a ballet dancer and I wear tights and a jock.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So I've noticed the difference from both sides of being a ballet contemporary dancer and getting those kind of backhanded comments and it really affecting my self-esteem, to switching over to street dance and suddenly being a cool teacher that all the guys and young lads think are cool. So it's very frustrating to see it, and even still see it today. I think I told you in a previous conversation we had about a film I did that I'm pretty sure you're going to show in this. I think it was called Men Who Dance. It was, I can't remember her name. What was that lady that took the mickey out of the Prince? Can't remember her name, but she was on TV and we did a follow-up 30-second video, which I'm sure you can link it to. Yeah. And there was one lad on there called Conran. No. My brain's gone frozen. Conran, yeah. And he's an insane ballet dancer. He's phenomenal. And to me, I'm like, I wish I could move like this guy. But even when we were filming, 4 lads walked past and took the mickey out of him. And he knew it. He went, they're taking the mickey out of me. And I was literally like, mate, ignore it. Trust me. When you grow up, those are the people that be like,
exactly.
Yeah.
They'll always come back around. And that's a shame because he's actually a very successful on Instagram. He's got loads of following because everyone adores what he does and his style, and he goes to all these classes and it is amazing. Right. So it's a shame that in the normal world he's still getting affected and bullied, and he's still so young.
I will say this till my dying day, it's always jealousy. Always jealousy. Because I always say, if you saw someone who you would perceive as someone lower than you or doing less than you, you would never take the mickey out of them because there's no interest in it. But the minute you find someone who's kind of excelling you in a certain way, suddenly the jealousy pops out and you start to take the mickey, because it's easier for you to take the mickey out of someone than go, well done, and accept that you're not at that level yet. That's just my opinion when it comes to it.
Oh, I totally agree. And also, I feel like at that time when that Lara, is her name Lara, who did that interview? Lara somebody. Might have been, I don't know.
What is her? I'm going to find her name. You keep talking.
I feel like
I'm going to bring it up. I've got it somewhere.
When that happened, I feel like everyone got their backs up, like the whole dance community everywhere in the world. And I feel like that's kind of like what's kind of sparking all these conversations. And it's really great that people are kind of coming together to do it. I feel like her name's Lara.
I'm thinking you're right. I'm just flicking through my Instagram now, trying to find the video. How long ago was it? I did this. Here we go. Her name was, yeah, Lara Spencer.
Yeah,
we were right.
And it was
when she said that.
Exactly, passing comment that she thought was funny, but that's what you're saying. It's banter, but it's not. It's
not banter. Yeah, everyone else laughs in the room, but you, and you're like, great, thanks. I don't hear this every day.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that kind of brought this kind of conversation a little bit more into the limelight of it all, and the backlash we received from it was amazing in a way of everyone coming together and showing that it can work.
You can't get away with it these days with TV and social media. You just can't. You've got to be so, one, you've got to be so careful what you say, and two, just think. Like, you're basically insulting a whole community in one sentence. It was live on TV.
It was so ridiculous, but I also feel like it kind of almost made more boys dance because it got more publicity. So it kind of also helped the community to get more boy dancers, not because of her comment, but because of the uproar it caused. Yeah. And so
there's nothing like a negative situation to bring people together. So it worked. It kind of worked in our favor in the long run, but still.
You're so right. I know, but still, it was still negative. Now, after you had studied, how did you then make it into your career? What was like the next step of you having to come out, start auditioning into the big world? How did you manage to do that part?
Well, I took a bit of a weird path because I suppose what I should have done was finish my training, train the street dance, and then audition. But I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur as well as a dancer. So I've always had that crazy struggle in my head between the creative side and making money and having a living and having a good life. So I lived in Hertfordshire at this point, but was in London most days, training in classes and doing auditions. So I just started opening a couple of classes in my local area. They got really popular. I opened classes in the next area and the next area. And before you know it, I'm teaching 12 classes every week. And I saved and I saved and I saved. And I did a few jobs in London. Like I did quite a few commercials, a few music videos, a few live shows. So I was always working as a dancer. If I'd have focused purely on being a dancer, I would have done so much more as a dancer. But you know, I always wanted that security of money, but also I'm a creative and I'm a risk taker. It's like, So those classes kind of got me a lot of money coming in. I created a business plan and bought a property and opened a studio in Wellingborough City. So I actually ran a studio for about 5 years. And again, dipping in and out the industry, kind of crossing between the both. But if anyone's ever run a business, you know, it takes your life away. And by the end of it, that's what I felt like. I felt like there was a ball and chain attached to my leg that was stopping me from achieving what I want to achieve. So I took a contract, ironically, on a contemporary ballet job. How ironic. I did a 360 because by this time I stopped caring. And I was on this job, and I won't name the company because they weren't great. So I was lifting someone every night on the one arm, and I kept complaining that my shoulder was starting to go and it was getting painful. And then one night it just clicked. And short version is I trapped a nerve between one of the bones. Agony. So I had to get an operation 6 months later, and it was 6 months recovery. And I'll be honest, I gave up dancing. I was like, I'm done. This is I won't say my age, but I was older at this point. I was like, this is my body's way of telling me to stop. So I actually started training as a life coach, just because I like to help people, and I've always been very interested in that side of the field. But throughout that training, I realized how much I missed dancing and how much I loved to create movement and just create film stuff. Like I love working with cameras, as you've probably seen. And I realized I just didn't want to be a dancer anymore. So I wanted to come back as a choreographer, because while running my dance studio, I ran dance companies. I love that part of the process. So I remember I emailed about 100 agents. I was like, hi, I'm a dancer. I want to be a choreographer. Can someone help me out? One agent got back to me, and that's Stuart Bishop from Love Rudai. And I mean, he was great. Like he took me under his wing, told me exactly what to do. And all I said, he goes, what do you want? What's your goal? I said, I just want classes at Pineapple. It's like really like young, please. I had them within a few months. And then I'm working with Renault, and I'm working with Panasonic, and I'm working with all these artists. And it was just like, within a year, my career went from absolutely no one knowing who I was to teaching at Pineapple, teaching all over the place, working with these incredible people and these incredible sets. And it's just kind of carried on ever since. It's, don't get me wrong, I've had amazing months where I've been non-stop working, and then 4 months of absolutely nothing, which is the freelance lifestyle. But yeah, that's kind of how it drifted into me being a choreographer and a movement director full time.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I answered your question then, but I just spoke.
Because I kind of feel like everyone thinks that they're going to go down one route of being a performer, but you've actually kind of like branched out and gone a bit into everything. And like you've been a teacher, you've been a studio owner, you've been a choreographer, you've kind of done a bit of everything. But it's just trying to find what is your focus and what's your passion for now, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, it's, do you know, I still, sorry, I still have this issue today. I'm constantly changing directions I want to go in. If someone walks in the background, it's my friend Larry. She's literally crawling along the floor right now underneath the camera.
So I really didn't want to interrupt you.
Hilarious. What was I saying? Yeah, so like now going forward, especially with this lockdown, it's made me completely reassess what I'm doing, where I'm going, just because I believe that the industry is going to take a long time to recover after this, because the last things that are going to open are anything that has a large capacity, so theatres, events, all the things we kind of focus on. You know, even sets. Sometimes you have 100 people on a set when you're filming something big. We won't be able to do that for a long time. So, and the other side of this is, if you think there was 40% of dancers out of work when this wasn't happening. So those 40% were showing up for auditions, and there was still 500 to 1,000 dancers auditioning for like 5 slots. Now 100% of the dancers and choreographers are completely out of work, and everyone's going to be fighting for that job. It's going to be a complete rat race. So what I've decided is I've always wanted to travel the world and teach and see the world and basically work abroad and be able to travel and work and pay for myself to travel. And I've kind of said that 3 times, but you get my point. And so I've decided that the minute we can fly again, I'm on a plane to a country. I'm already emailing schools all over the world who are very interested, and I've been getting emails back every day. And so, yeah, I'm going to travel the world and teach and still run my stuff here. And then when I get back, I've got an incredible business plan to smash the industry,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to tell you. It's a surprise.
Keep it secret. Keep it secret. That's the best part.
I'll tell you when we stop recording, maybe.
But I also think as well, like, it's super important for you to do what's right for you. And I think traveling the world is going to be amazing because you're going to learn from different cultures, and you're going to learn as well from these other places and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
classes as well. So I think it's such a great thing for you to decide.
And it's such a great way to build connections as well. Like, I know a lot of record companies abroad and so on. So when I go to a country, I'm going to say, hey, I'm here. Any music videos you want me to work on, or commercials? So there's that element as well, just having the connections all around the world. And then when I'm back, I can just jump off to different countries and teach, work for companies. And I think, you know, I'm already an international choreographer, but I'll be international choreographer, like constantly away. And plus, they'll get some great pictures for Instagram.
So far.
Beach.
But on that note, you've actually got such a big following on your social media, your Instagram. But I think that's obviously, like you say, it's come from your business side of you being like really proactive and you want to do it. And that's amazing because it takes a lot of time to build up these social media followings. And it's obviously like years of hard work as well. So it's great that you have got all these connections as well. So that's amazing. Now, what I wanted to touch on, oh, sorry, on you go.
No, I was going to say, to begin with, I didn't actually try and build the following. This is the advice I'm giving out to people at the moment, is get amazing at what you do and create stuff that you're happy to create. The minute you try and be famous, try and be an influencer, it will never happen. Yeah. Just put stuff out. If you're a dancer, dance. Enjoy it and enjoy the content you're putting out. Don't do it to get views and likes. Yeah. It's not what it's about. Put it out, and I promise you, talent always rises to the top. Always, always.
You're right. And also I think as well, there's so much of social media everywhere at the moment for kids, and it's available so easily. I think that's a balance of what's good about social media and what's negative about social media.
Yeah, the detrimental side for your mental health, and I'm very aware of that. Recently, I actually came off social media for 2 weeks just because I needed time to myself. And one of the things, a good friend of mine who's a therapist, we were discussing this, and I was saying that, you know, it's the first 2 weeks in lockdown, I was getting really down about it. I was getting really depressed. And she said to me, like, have you tried just coming off social media? I was like, that's the only thing I've got right now. She goes, but that's the problem. You're only creating and doing things to post on social media rather than just doing things because they're making you happy. Yeah. And making that transition from doing it for everybody else and doing it for myself completely switched my mindset. I came out of those 2 weeks like absolutely gung-ho, ready to smash the world. And I literally haven't stopped working since. I've been so focused, it's scary.
I might have to try it.
Do it after this video.
Yeah, exactly. After this. So one thing I was going to go back to is, so I've got quite a lot of male students within our dance school, and they compete. They're amazing. They go to different dance schools as well to do other types of training. They go to classes, workshops, and they're so talented, and they're from such a young age. Like you've got 10, 11, 12-year-olds that are so talented. Now, some of them are obviously at that age of high school where things start to go a little bit different and they start to not fit in as much, or they're different. What would you kind of give them as the advice from you to them to say, like, keep going, you can do this?
Well, it's hard because, again, I started quite late, but I like you, I've taught loads of young lads who quit normally around 13, 14 because of pressure. You know, everyone's playing football, everyone's playing cricket, everyone's playing the man sports and and it's just to stick it out, because life gets so much better when you leave school. School is nothing. Like, school is such a small part of your life, but also such a foundation for your life. So I get it. I get why some of the boys probably pull back away because they don't want the peer pressure or the bullying. But it's, you know, it takes such a strong person to go, yeah, so what, I dance.
Yeah.
How can you bully someone when they're proud of what they already do?
Yeah.
You know, like there's comedians, take comedians, for example. Comedians are completely self-deprecating. They take the mick out of themselves first so that no one else can. And that's how they became comedians. As when they were a young age, they knew they were goofy. They knew this. So they went, yeah, I'm goofy. Yeah. You can't be nasty to me. You can't take the mickey out of me being goofy, because I've just told you I am. I know I am. So I just say, own it. Just be like, yeah, I'm a dancer. What? Can you kick your leg here? I'm stronger than you, mate. I can pick you up. Because as a dancer, you're strong. Like, this is what other kids or other people who don't dance don't get. As a dancer, you are strong. Yeah. Like ballet dancers, I would never get into a fight with ballet dancers.
Exactly, you're so right.
The strength in their back and arms is just like, they look skinny, but they're strong. So I just say, own it. If you love it, do it. Just own it and go straight in and be like, yeah, I'm a dancer.
Exactly.
You dance. I know I dance. I just told you that.
Yeah.
But if you own it, they can't take the mickey out of you. That's my theory. You know,
Yeah.
I'm the best at self-deprecating, so I'm all over that.
We all are a little bit. So yeah, I get it. But if you could go back, so if it was your journey and you could go back to being young, is there anything you would maybe have changed? Like, would you have started from a younger age, or would you maybe have done?
Oh my God, I would have got into it so much earlier. Again, because I grew up in such a little town, I was always quite scared of the stigma and quite scared of, like, I was already bullied, I'll be honest. I was bullied most of the way through school, and then I was sick for 2 years, and then I came back this shy introvert, so there was already this massive fear, and to come back in year 11 and do fashion and art, it was like, it was asking for it, really. But this is before internet was like a big thing. We didn't have YouTube when I was at school. You know, I think Facebook still wasn't created when I was at school, just to give you a random idea of my age. So it all happened in school. So I could always go home, you know, whereas these days it's a lot harder because social media, you've got trolls all over the place, and how easy is it to make a fake account and bully someone. But whoever they are and whoever's doing that, they're doing it because they're so insecure of themselves. It's nothing to do with the person they're bullying. But trying to explain that to a 12 to 16-year-old, you just don't get it. And it's hard. Like, it's hard. Like, social media has got a lot to answer for, but also it's a great thing.
Yeah, you're so right. And I also think the more people that send this message out to kids, I think that it will click up a little bit, even if it's one conversation.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. Now, one point I'd like to go back to, I think is amazing, is that you said before you started dancing, you used to walk past Pineapple Studios, and now you teach at Pineapple Studios. So it's almost like you've come all the way around. So that's so cool, because
right?
living the dream of what you first achieved. And now I can tell you that I've got kids who have got goals and dreams. Not all of them, some of them do it for fun, but they have got these amazing goals and dreams. And speaking to you, speaking to all these other people who have created their dream, it's amazing. And I think it shows to you, like, if you work hard enough for something, if you want something, if you fight for it, it is possible.
Yeah, completely. Like, I've never really thought of it that way until you said it, actually. I've done a 360. Yeah. But it just caught me. I used to look into the steamy windows and just kind of pop my head around, and then stop looking because I felt weird, like I was staring at all these people, because I wasn't a dancer then, so it wasn't like okay for me to be like, hey everyone. And it's just done a massive 360, I suppose. But then, you know, it's not that hard. You just got to keep going and keep pushing and just don't stop working. And the biggest thing is taking rejection. You know, in this industry, there's so much rejection. In fact, you get rejected 50 times before you get one acceptance. And that's kind of the commercial industry. Yeah. And, you know, poor musical theatre people, they go through like 7-8 rounds of audition to just find out they're not going to get the job. And it's like, what? I've been auditioning for 4 weeks. So, yeah, just get, you know, if you're young and you're dancing and you're getting a bit of stigma, build up that thick skin now, because that will pay off dividends when you get to auditioning stage.
You're so right. You're so right. And one question I wanted to ask, obviously, now being a male teacher, choreographer, and working in the industry, you'll obviously have taught kids of all different ages, boys of all different ages, but the ones that are successful, so the ones that are working in the industry, what do you think you see from them that's making them stand out as being a boy in this industry?
Resilience. And honestly, there's another point, sorry, I'm going to touch on quickly, is being a boy in this industry is so much easier than being a girl. And this is what the young boys need to get, is being a boy, as long as you're good, you'll work. Exactly. Girls, I think it's something like 80% female, and something ridiculous like that. I'm probably making that percentage up, but it sounds right. And they are fighting for work. Whereas the boys, as long as you're a good dancer, you're professional, and you're humble, and you're a nice person, you'll be working a good career. Yeah. It's nuts. I see, like you said, all these boys give up, when I'm like, you don't get it. The girls would die for it, that opportunity that the guys get.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, start dancing. We need more boys.
Exactly. No, well, thank you so much for chatting today. And I know you've obviously got your YouTube channel. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your tutorials and everything that you're doing at the moment then?
Yeah, so basically I have a very range of social media. I'm a massive social media geek. So I've got TikTok, Instagram, which all the kids will know about. But my main thing is my YouTube channel, which I'm trying to build heavily at the moment, is I put all my dance videos on there, but for every bit of choreography I do, I create a tutorial. So for whoever you are in the world or wherever you are in the world, you can learn my choreography. They're like 10, 15-minute videos. I go through it relatively quick, but you can pause, stop and rewind and take your time. Yeah, go and check it out. I've probably got about 150 tutorials on there now, so it's really built up over the last 5 years. And one more plug is I have a film out called Building a Dancer. It's on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon, and it's all about taking an incredible dancer who just didn't have a big break, and we gave her loads of branding, and we gave her entrepreneurial skills and taught her how to network with people. And that girl called Yotta went on to be in bodyguard on a world tour. So, yeah. I mean, literally, she was ready to give up and go home back to Cyprus, but she smashed it. She's amazing.
Wow.
There you go. I've got all my plugs in there now.
But that's amazing. And I also feel like that's a really good point in this whole situation of not giving up, of actually being determined.
Yeah. There's always a way. And my biggest thing at the moment is ask for help. I saw a post on Instagram the other day that made me so angry, like so angry. And it was along the lines of asking for help is weak. Okay. And I was ready to, I was like, no, don't get involved. It's online, it's trolling, whatever. But I think I've got a post ready that I'm going to put out at some point. So, it's literally saying, you know, asking for help is not weak. It's the strongest thing you can do. So I'd say ask people to help. There's people like me, people like you that would happily give up their time and be like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. Like, what do you need? I did a live. I'm trying to do a live every Sunday on Instagram at the moment, which is literally a Q&A. And I did my first one this Sunday, and like the hour went like that. We answered so many questions, and it just kept going and going and going. So what I'm telling people to do now is fire questions at me by DM. And if they can't get on the live, I'll answer them anyway so they can watch it later.
Amazing. Amazing. No, that's so great. And I feel like you're such an amazing role model for these younger dancers, boys and girls. I don't think it's specifically boys. And I think it's great that you have got such a reassuring voice that they can look up to. So I think it's a great thing. And thank you so much for giving
girls are just jealous of my curly hair. That's fine.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. Oh, well, thank you so much for giving us your time.
No problem.
And I'm sure we'll get you up to Edinburgh one day when this.
Yes, that'd be amazing. Before I go traveling, hopefully.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, and we'll speak to you soon.
No problem, buddy.
Bye.
Ciao for now. Bye.
I did. I have learned about the bravery it takes for a young boy to pursue a career in dance. I have listened, and I am deeply sorry.
For taking the time to watch Simon Talks today with Brendon. Hopefully you've enjoyed getting to know his story a little bit better and how he's managed to succeed in this dance industry. Remember, you can follow us on all our social media to see all upcoming videos, and you can also follow us on our Twitter, Instagram or YouTube to make sure you're up to date. Apart from that, have a lovely day and we'll see you in the next one.